Here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Dweck.
A push for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Southeast Tutoring 200 live tonight, VSRL Truck Series Monday Night Racing. Live here on VSPEED. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. In the famous Michigan Speedway, the 2-mile oval. We'll be going 100 laps, 200 miles here tonight for race 12 out of 14. It's chase time here for these drivers. We talked a little bit about the guys that made the chase. We'll bring those up on display on your screen right now. These are the drivers. These are the tracks. We did Dover. We're doing Michigan. We've got Bristol and Las Vegas left here on the schedule. And it's been really well thought out here for Ross Phillips. Garrett Helmlinger able to race his way into the chase. Some of these guys that have struggled, Morgan Cook, Nicholas Pressey, having a hard time here in the later stages of this chase. So let's get down there on your grid. Right now, starting on the pole, we just mentioned his name. That'd be Ross Phillips. He had a great qualifying effort here. 39.863 for Nicholas Pressey on the outside. 39.880. Moving on to that second row to be Kyle Stewart with Sean Downey. Morgan Cook going to start 5th with Joseph Selig, 6th position. Sean Langton in the 7th position with Thad Miller in 8th. Top 10 rounding off Brian Watkins and Garrett Helmlinger. Jacob Daniels coming off of pit road now. He'll be in the 11th position with Justin Ritchie in 12th. Scott Cleveland 13th. Ryan Hennings 14th position. Rounding out your field, a couple of these guys have not hit the grid. Adam Tips is not out on the track currently. So I'm not exactly sure where he is, but he is not lighting up. So we're going to have 15 cars confirmed. Without Adam Tips and David Ackenbauer, we would have had 17 cars on the track. Racing around this place takes an eternity, but it's wide enough that these guys could go green for an entire 200 miles. Mistakes are very compounded here. Any mistakes on pit road that you would make? Always a risk of losing 18, 19 seconds on the track and never getting it back here, but Ross Phillips at the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Green flag is out and we're live and racing. VSRL Truck Series at Michigan. Coming off of turn 4, Ross Phillips is going to lead lap number 1, but Nicholas Pressey putting on a lot of pressure on that outside line. Him and Sean Bounty were bump drafting going to the entry of 3, as you can see there on your screen, and we were watching through the static cameras so you can see how close they were getting. Ross Phillips was able to hold it down there, but Pressey is starting to make a run on the outside down the backstretch. A move for the lead here very early lap number 2. Ross Phillips is going to wait for some of these guys. He talked about it last week that some of these guys drive like missiles. He'll let them go and then chase them back down as Pressey drops in line. Looked like he was going to get a run there for a second. Now Bounty on the back bumper, trying to push up there and get this lead away. Riding on board here. Oh, Pressey gets into the back of Phillips. That moves him up the track, and now another battle. Kyle Stewart now to the bottom. This field spreading out tremendously in a very short amount of time. 3 laps, so we've already got 2-3 seconds separating back to the top 10. Justin Ritchie, he's 1.6 seconds back. That's the 55 machine. He started in 12th, so he's picked up a couple spots, but to fall back that far, that fast, something must have happened here. Sean Langton, he started deep in the pack as well. He hasn't really moved too much. He's trying to work the outside of Thad Miller, and Nicholas Pressey has fallen all the way back to 6th position after that bump with the back of the 5. He lost a ton of spots there. Trying to keep up with what's going on. Morgan Cook takes away the lead. Out of nowhere, the 41 and the 51 both get around the 5 of Phillips. So new leader, Morgan Cook. He started 5th. He's already picked up 4 spots. That's 1 a lap. He's doing a great job. We were just talking about how Morgan Cook, some of these guys struggling here in the chase. They made the cut, and then the luck changed. It's been a tough season here for the 51 of Cook. Kyle Stewart really turned on there towards the end of the season. You can see it now as he runs in 2nd position. He might get to lead some laps here. He dives to the bottom. He's got Ross Phillips following suit. The 34 of Sean Bounty, he's been patiently watching this battle in front of him. You can see the different grooves being ran. Late apex there for the 5. He's going to get a big run on the 41 here. To the outside now for the 5 of Phillips, to back to 2nd place. Bounty almost follows through, but he can't quite clear the 41. Come down the front straightaway. Cook's going to lead another lap, and Ross Phillips is slowly chipping away at that lead. You might feel that he's saving too much in all the traffic here. It's going to be hard to spread out. This top 6 is staying right on top of each other. It's hard to get away from these guys. That draft just pulls them right back up. You can see right here, Garrett Helmlinger, we were a little bit worried about this group a moment ago. They were a second back. Now they've pulled up 4/10 from the leader, and it's double file all the way back to the 6th position with the 12 of Sailing cracking the top 5. He's got Sean Langton on the inside, and a little bobble there for the 12. The 21 dives down to the bottom. Well, thought he was going to hit the wall. Another double file back to the 8th position. That 12 of Selly got super loose off the exit of 4. Looks like he settled it back down. You see this group, you can throw a blanket over the top 10 all the way back to Thad Miller. A little bit of a breakaway from Watkins and Daniels. Nicholas Pressey has fallen off almost 2 seconds back from this pack. I'm not sure if Pressey got some damage or if he just used up the tires. He's got a lot of work to get back up there to that top 5. Oh, and a car on the wall. It looked like the 21, maybe. I'm not sure who that was. See if we can go back and figure out exactly what happened there. We had a big bobble back here on the backstretch. These guys were running 3 wide, so on the instant replay, let's see if we can hit maybe a chopper camera, see if we get a better idea. And these guys were weaving all over the place, and I think the 12 of Selig maybe hit the wall, but it got crazy there for a second. Go back one more time with the chopper camera. There's a good angle. This guy's got crazy there for a second. All right, so back to it. Ross Phillips gets the lead back for the 51 of Morgan Cook. They're 3 wide almost there for a second. The 34 Bounty on the outside trying to take away the second position. Sean Langton's moving up to 4th. But it's been dangerous here in this top 5. One little mistake and it could take out 4 or 5 cars, and these guys cannot afford it. There's a lot of chase contenders up here right now. That 12 of Selig looks like he is out of control in the backstretch. We're going to ride on board with the 12 of Selig into the cockpit here. So I want to see what's happening to this wheel. It looks like he's being pulled by a force feedback. Maybe has it too high up. I'm not sure. But it is out of control down this backstretch. Oh, and he's losing it. Oh, no. The 44. This Todd Cleveland almost gets into him anyway. I don't know if, and the 00 hits the wall. That's Randy Solly. I don't know exactly what happened here. To go back a little bit further, the 12 just gets super. Oh, he had massive contact here. Massive contact from the 41. They were 3 wide. And I think the 12 came down across the nose of the 41. He had nowhere to go. Race is subverted there. Almost a caution here on lap 12. No damage to the 41. Looks clean. The 12, yeah, definitely came down a lane there right in front of him. The 55 has a little bit of damage. That's Justin Ritchie. That will affect the aero on this car. This truck does not like to have the front end caved like that. That'll affect his top end down the straightaways. The 55 just needs to stick in line here with the 41. That's probably going to be his best bet. Little damage actually on the back of the 41, and I think I know where that came from. These trucks will be affected a little bit down the straights. Couple miles per hour. They're going to have to stick to the draft as best they can. Meanwhile, Ross Phillips, he's single-filed everybody out. He's got the lead. Sean Langton, Sean Bounty, Garrett Helmlinger, and Morgan Cook, your top 5. Sean Langton to the inside now, trying to take away the lead. It looks like he might get away with it. No crossover move here by the 5 of Phillips. He's going to let the 8 of Langton lead a lap here. "15 laps into this race, we've seen it all. We've seen contact. We've seen 3 wide, 4 wide. Changes for the lead. How many changes? 5 in 15 laps. Michigan doesn't get much better than that. That's full action all the way through. Bounty, big check up there on the inside. Garrett Helmlinger now looking to make a move. Thought he might have the run, but he had to lift out of the throttle. Bounty almost gets into the back of Phillips. Down the front stretch, it's drafted. That's all you can do now at this point. The tires have worn off. It's going to be tough to pass. You might get a run on an outside if you're lucky. There's the 21. He's trying to pull it off on the outside of Bounty, but that entry is what gets you. If you can't get the nose in there in time, that other guy's just going to slide right up in front of you. And as you can see, the 21 Helmlinger has the run, but he can't go anywhere with it. And that's the product of these tires just wearing off. Need the 34 of Bounty. He's actually trying to make a move now. There's no dice. There's no run. You can't carry that momentum off the exits in these corners. Full overcast skies here. This track has cooled off tremendously compared to what it was at the start of this thing. It was 115 degrees. It's cooled down to 105, so this track is starting to get a little bit tighter. These guys aren't slip sliding around as much. There's the guy up in the top 10 we haven't talked about a lot this season, Brian Hennings. In the 6th position from 14th. We've talked about his paint scheme quite a few times on the mention on that. But it's good to see him up here just outside the top 5, running right behind Morgan Cook. Dad Miller also having a solid day today. He'll be in the 7th position. Dad's been really good about keeping it there. 7th, 8th position every race. Guy's having a tough break right now. I would say it's probably the 94 of Nicholas Pressey. He started up in the 2nd spot, just outside the pole. And it's almost like that truck has damage or the tires have had enough. It doesn't look as fast as it did in qualifying. They might have to go back to the drawing board on what line they're running, try to figure out exactly what they're doing wrong, because the right front on this machine is definitely not helping the car rotate. He's not sticking that bottom. He's scrubbing a lot of speed, and he's fallen off 2.2 seconds back from Ross Phillips, who takes back the lead. While we're going through the field, this happened. Another change for the lead. A lap 20. That'll give 12 laps led. Langton was up there for quite some time. He worked his way all the way from back in 7th, 8th position to the lead. I'm interested to see what this battle's going to shape up to be. We got smoke on the backstretch. Looks like the 51 dusted the wall. Yeah, he just brushed it. He got away with one, but he put that right rear quarter panel right on it. Close call there for the 51 of Morgan Cook. Now he's pulling back up here to the back bumper of Garrett Helmlinger. Looked like he was going to get the momentum, but no swing here. He loses a ton of ground. Helmlinger checks out a little bit. And now Brian Hennings catching up. Let's get back here and check on Todd Cleveland. He's on the back bumper of Nicholas Pressey. Looks like we're going to have a battle here for the 9th position, 8th spot. I remember seeing Todd Cleveland have to dodge Joseph Selig there at one point. Had a few different guys get into the wall. Spin there by the 12 of Selig. Almost puts him into the infield. It's like we said before, it's just impossible right now to pass. Some of these guys up front have shuffled around, but you get around the guy and you can't get away from him. Langton is stuck right with Ross Phillips here. All the way through this run. 24 laps into it. The window for fuel coming up probably within the next 10 laps. Some of these guys might stretch it out a full 35. For me personally, I would come down probably on lap 32, 33. Make it a 2-stop race. Uh-oh, Hennings is hitting the wall all the way down to the apron. Somehow doesn't hit the wall on the inside. He loses a ton of ground, falls all the way back to the 11th position. Now almost 12th. Let's see what happens here to Hennings. He gets super tight, hits the outside wall, shoots it all the way down, and look at that. Go back on board with him one more time. A tough break there for Brian Hennings. That car, you can just tell it was getting tight off the exit. Phillips coming down pit road now. The change for the lead. Langton's going to take it over from the 5 of Phillips, all by his lonesome. I think he might have been... Well, we've got Morgan Cook coming down as well. But he was the only car in the top 5, but Morgan Cook will come in with him. And I believe Cook was in the 5th or 6th position when he came down pit road with him. Teammates working their strategy together. Phillips getting 4 tires. I got Sean Langton coming back around. He's going to bring it down pit road now. Get it woed up. And there's Sean Langton. Bounty. Garrett Helmlinger. Nicholas Pressey. Thad Miller. Pretty much the rest of the field coming down pit road now. They could not push it a full 30 laps. I thought there was a little more fuel in this machine. This backpack able to make it a little bit further, but that means that this will be a 3-stop race, and they might have to split the last run. Pressey misses his stall just a little bit there. But down and away for the 8 of Langton. Let's see where this shapes up with Ross Phillips. He's coming off of turn 4 now. And I believe the 5 of Phillips will retain the lead once he gets back around. Maybe not. Langton's gonna have about a 3-second gap here. 2 seconds now. The Phillips has got a long way to make up. Garrett Helmlinger back in 3rd. He gets ahead of Phillips as well. The 5 loses 3 positions after green flag pit stops. Morgan Cook able to maintain the top 5. How about Thad Miller? He picks up a couple positions on pit road. He's running in 6th now. Nicholas Pressey, Todd Cleveland behind him. There's Brian Hennings, who had that close call with the wall there. Then Kyle Stewart will round out your top 10. He's got the lap down car of Brian Watkins just behind him. But taking over the lead on lap 28 will be Sean Langton in the 8 car with Sean Bounty close behind him. Quick little battle here. Langton trying to snag it away. Or Bounty, actually, rather, on the inside. trying to take the lead. Side by side down the back stretch, down to the inside. He's going to hold it down there, and these fresh tires are going to help tremendously. He touches that inside line. Lets the car rotate a little bit, and off, set and sail. Sean Bounty's going to lead his first lap of the race. Bounty looking pretty solid here in the second stint. They've pulled away from Ross Phillips a little bit, but it's dwindled down. After pit stops, he came out of about 1.8. It's down to 1.7. Sean Bounty not going to have any drafting help. As these guys start to race side by side, Ross Phillips to the inside now for the third position. He gets around Garrett Helmlinger, who almost crosses him over. Best bet, I think, here for these two is to start drafting and pull their way back up to Langton and Bounty. That's going to be their only shot. They're going to have to push. All right, so through the top 10, Sean Bounty, he's pulled out 0.6 of a second over the 8 machine of Sean Langton. He's led 4 laps thus far this race. Sean Bounty looking really solid. Started back and forth. The second stint of tires, 5 laps into it. He's set and sail. Very hard to get away from guys at Michigan, but he's figured it out. Back in the second position, Sean Langton. He's led 7 laps. It's been a battle between these three, really. Ross Phillips in third position. He's led the most laps here thus far tonight. Started on the pole. Back here in third. And he's losing a little bit of ground to the 34 and the 8. 2.1 seconds back for Ross Phillips. It's going to be a tough one to get back up there. Behind him, teammate Garrett Helmlinger. He was in 10th. He's up to 4th in the top 5. Raced his way into the chase, looking to get win number 2 of the season. But again, 2-second deficit. It's going to be hard to overcome. Back here in 5th, Morgan Cook. He's had a scrape with the wall. He's maintained his starting position. He is 4 seconds back, though, from the leaders, and 2 seconds back from teammate Garrett Helmlinger. Another tough situation. Thad Miller, though. He's hanging right there with the 51. Looking to get a top 5 here for the 13. And then a gaggle of cars back here. From 7th back to 10th. Actually, 7th back to 9th. We have a lap down car. That's the 17 of Brian Watkins. But Nicholas Pressey in front of this group in 7th. Started up in 2nd. Doesn't look like the line has changed much, and Pressey is still struggling to maintain his speed that he showed in qualifying. 44, Todd Cleveland just behind him, trying to get around the 94. He's been working on him now for about 6 laps. And Hennings, he's since stabled out. He's in the 9th position. Hopefully, no more close calls with the wall for the 74. He can bring it home shiny side up. And we'll round out your top 10. This guy started in the 2nd row in 3rd position. That rear end damage has caused a lot of speed loss down these straightaways. As you can see it, it's multiplied out to 9.2 seconds when he was up there racing for the lead at one point in this race in the first 5 laps. And he's since fallen back to 10th. A tough break for Kyle Stewart, but that's your top 10 thus far. Back to 11th, Jacob Daniels. He's maintained that starting position. The Skull Bandit number 4. Big gap here in the interval, 11, almost 12 seconds to the lead. Justin Ritchie in the 55. He's got the nose damage fixed. But the time lost here 12.5 seconds. He's in threat to go a lap down. After the next set of pit stops, he'll be close. Randy Swally. One of the cars that hit the wall there earlier. The 00 back to 13th position right now. How frustrating it is to drive by yourself like this. No one in front, no one behind. Just out for a Sunday drive, it just feels like a long cruise to nowhere. So I feel for the 00, Swally. It's going to be a while, though. Still got a lot of laps left to do. I hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast here. If you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Like, share, and follow this broadcast so you never miss a single race of VSRL Truck Series. We're going to take a quick commercial break for the Southeast Tutoring 200 here at Michigan. We'll be back right after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Lionel using the bottom sack car closing in behind.
And here comes Lionel. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh!
Burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Swack.
A punch for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
Southeast Tutoring 200 back live here, 42 laps into this race. And it's been a good one so far. Sean Bounty has checked out. 0.4 of a second. Langton's reeled him back in a little bit, but it hasn't been much. He's only shaved off maybe a 10th or so as the run progresses. You can see it here. It's starting to get closer and closer. Bounty running a little bit lower line than Langton. And it's been a battle between the two Seans. Another guy that's on the move since that commercial break. The 5 of Ross Phillips. He got around the 21 of Helmlinger, who's fallen back to the 6th position. So problems here for the 21. I'm not seeing it. Well, maybe a little bit of nose damage there on the 21. Excuse me, not exactly sure where he got that damage. Thad Miller, he's going to work up into the top 5. He's been hanging right there with Morgan Cook, so massive improvement here for the 13 this week. How about that? Oh, and another car, it's Hennings again, hitting the wall in the exit of 2. That car's just getting really tight and pressed. He follows suit, follows him right up there into the outside wall. Hennings doesn't have quite the same bounce off the wall like he did last time. But he's going to lose another position. Pressy gets around him. Thad Miller gets around Morgan Cook, who might have hit the wall. I believe Morgan Cook did clip the wall. He does. Into the outside, and that puts the 13 up to 4th. These guys start to get really tight here. The battle for the lead is starting to heat up a little bit. The 34 is Sean Bounty. Now only a 2/10 gap separating him. 1.2 to Ross Phillips, who is catching up to this group. Slowly but surely chipping away at him. He's almost got it under 1 second. This will really help Phillips if the 8 and the 34 start to race side by side. There it is, side by side now for the lead. The 8 of Langton to the inside, trying to hold it down, scrubbing the speed through 1 and 2. The 34 is going to hold it up there, Selig in front of them. This lap traffic might make a pick for the 8. Trying to carry that speed down into turn 2, or turn 3. Still side by side here. Change for the lead across the line. Langton does nab it away, but not by much. He's hoping to clear the 34 of Bounty before they go into 1 and 2. And now they have to work on this lap car, the 12 of Selig. Selig's going to drop down out of the way, right up on the bumper here. That's the 34 of Bounty. And I tell you what, these two racing side by side, they made a quick work of it, but it still allowed Ross Phillips about 6/10 to catch up to these guys. So Phillips now, he's coming down pit road. He's going to split this run and get fresh tires. So a little strategy here for the 5 team. Only 20 laps on these tires, and he's the only one coming down pit road. It's installed perfectly. Right sides are going to go up on the 5. 4 tires and fuel here. Getting it away for the 5. Perfect pit stop. Now with those fresh tires, can he make up this ground? Morgan Cook coming down pit road. That forces the hand of the 34. Sean Bounty hitting the stall. Sean Langton. These guys kind of had their hand forced. They didn't run that full stint like they did last time of 28 laps. They only pushed it to 20. And the new leader, Thad Miller, will he push it as far as he did last time? And he go the full 28. I wouldn't go much further. I might go one more lap. Thad's going to bring it down this time by. If he can get in cleanly. Oh, that looks like a speeding penalty for the 13. Thad Miller's definitely got a speeding penalty. Tough break here for the 13 as he slides through into the entrance of pit road. Coming in way too hot. About 5-10 miles per hour over the limit here, so the 13's going to get a hold. That will unfortunately undo this excellent run that the 13 car's been having. And we have a caution. We have a yellow somewhere on this track, and that's the 12 of Selig. The yellow flag comes out on lap 51. That bails out. Excuse me, Thad Miller gets a huge bailout here with his holding penalty. He does go a lap down, but that does help tremendously. Let's see if we can go back and find what happened to the 12 of Selig. There's to the inside. He gets, oh, contact with the 51. So we go back. I believe the 51 was on fresh tires. He just came out of pit road. So we'll go back one more time and take a look at that from a different angle. Maybe we'll go on board here with the 51 of Cook. Cook just come out. He just got off pit road. This is on board with the 51. They were side by side. And the 12 of Selig runs it up the track, runs it up again. That's going to bring out caution number 1 here tonight. Justin Ritchie stays out here to take over the lead. I believe he's just trying to get a lap led, maybe for bonus points. He might bring it down pit road now. Let's try to stretch this run out as far as he can, but 25 laps, he's the only guy that hasn't hit pit road. But he will get a lap led. So a bonus point there for the 55. Ross Phillips, after that short pit, forcing his hand on everyone else in the field. He will have the lead, but he's got a very hungry Sean Langton and Sean Bounty behind him. This is going to be a tough break here because I believe the 5 had a pretty decent lead before that caution. 13 of Thad Miller ends up a lap down after hitting the pit road a little bit too hot. Joseph Selig out of the race here tonight. He's going to park it behind the wall after 49 laps completed. So I look to see the 55 of Ritchie bring it down pit road this time through, because fuel is going to be a problem. There's the 55 coming down now. 74 Henning's going to follow suit. I don't know if I'm Thad Miller. I might just come down pit road and top it off with fuel. You might get lucky. All right, getting set to double back up. Lights are out on the pace car. The 8 of Langton to the outside. Sean Bounty in 3rd. Kyle Stewart 4th. Garrett Helmlinger in the 5th position. Jacob Daniels up to 6th now. Morgan Cook 7th. Brian Watkins in 8th. These guys back on the lead lap here. This bailout after that caution. Morgan Cook, the 51 that was involved with that accident, back to 8th position. Todd Cleveland in 9th, and then Nicholas Pressey in 10th. Well, yeah, it's been interesting. I'm not exactly sure if there was just a little miscommunication. The 12 of Selig didn't know he was coming or exactly what was going on there, but that'll bring out caution number 1. We've had 1 caution and 14 lead changes thus far. It's been a good one here at Michigan. We're not done yet. Getting set to take it in. Past the halfway point, 54 out of 100 laps. We've got about 100 miles left to go. Pace car pulls off. At the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're back live for the 2nd time tonight. Southeast Tutoring 200 is being led by Ross Phillips, Sean Langton, and Sean Bounty trying to get back up there and take it away. Big moves back here. The 41 of Kyle Stewart drops to the inside. He's trying to take away the 4th position from Garrett Helmlinger. Helmlinger still having a little bit of nose damage on the 21, but he's hanging pretty well here in the draft. Right up on the bumper of Sean Langton now. Almost a three-way battle for the lead. 34 of Bounty now to the inside of Langton. Doesn't get the pass, though. Now side by side down the back straightaway. Helmlinger now looking to take away 3rd. Bounty gets trapped down there on that inside, and that's allowed the 21 of Helmlinger to get around him. Langton able to clear there for just a second, but through 3 and 4, Bounty gets it all back. The 41 of Stewart, who made a move to the inside a moment ago, starting to build his momentum back up. Ross Phillips loving what he's seeing here in his mirror. Another move here for the 41. Helmlinger able to get around Bounty. Now the 41 of Stewart's trying to get by. The 4 of Daniels. He's up on the wheel. Look at him go to the inside for just a brief second. Almost a 3-way battle for the lead. Almost 3-way, 4-way battle. Altogether, these guys still side by side. The spread that we saw earlier has diminished, and Garrett Helmlinger takes over the lead on lap 58. John Langton trying to take away 2nd position from Ross Phillips side by side. Helmlinger, who raced his way into the chase, he sees this battle and he knows this is good news. Let him race side by side and I'll check out. But the 5 of Phillips starting to build that momentum back up. It's so tough to lead this track. No contenders yet for the lead. Still battling from 2nd to 4th position. Langton trying to hold it down there. Can't get a run on the 5. Loses a little ground to the 34 Bounty. 44 Todd Cleveland cracks the top 5. He's been quiet all race long. We're back in the 13th position. Still side by side with the 8 and the 5. As they go into 3 and 4, Langton definitely chewing up that right front tire, trying to get by Phillips. He just can't clear him. That 5 is too fast on the outside. He's got draft help by Bounty. Also a little help from Cleveland. 21 and Helmlinger has to go around the 55 of Ritchie. Now they're going to be 3 wide coming off of turn 2. Oh, that makes it tight right there. Now coming into the middle of 3 and 4. Helmlinger still with the lead. 0.2 of a second. Langton finally able to clear the 5. And I just want to say a beautiful paint scheme on the 5 machine here tonight. Chrome on the red, the metallic on the blue. It's just a fine looking paint scheme. He wasn't happy with the one last week. The last race that we had at Dover. We had a little 1-week hiatus here at VSRL. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. This top 5 starting to settle down a little bit. The 44 to the outside now of Bounty. Cleveland trying to take away the 4th position. Lap 63 in the books now. Cleveland way up the track there. Might get a little tight on the exit, but he's going to get a run. He's able to get around for the 4th spot. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but we had overcast when the 34 car was leading. The sun is out, full force now, and Garrett Helmlinger has come to light. On that outside line, pretty smart there, defensive driving. Langton's going to get the run, but not able to do anything with it. And I think if Helmlinger could just keep it up a lane, pinch that 8 car down, you'll have a good shot to maintain this lead. I know the 8 car took a long time to get around the 5 of Phillips, so that right front's got to be tired. Helmlinger's doing a great job right now. Leading another lap this time by, but that top 4 is starting to accordion back. Little run here from the draft. The 8 car going to drop it down to the bottom. Battle for the lead. Way outside there for the 21, but a great run down the back straightaway for him. And a car brushing the wall. That's the 41 of Stewart. He's going to lose the position to Jacob Daniels now for 6th. Langton's getting the lead, though. Back up here to the front. Helmlinger just not able to hold on to it. Not quite getting the run off the high side like he thought he would off of 2, like I thought he would off of 2. Decent run here off of 4, but Langton's got help by Phillips to push. And peek into the middle. Garrett just not able to maintain that speed on the outside. He surrenders the lead now to Sean Langton. That's lead change number 16 of the night. Now a crossover. Maybe peek to the inside. Ross Phillips there. He slams the door shut on him. Phillips falls back to 4th now. Todd Cleveland in the top 3. We might have another lead change. Cleveland's been slow and steady here, methodically picking his way through the top 5. Phillips really tight there on the exit of 2. Cleveland now gets away from Helmlinger. He's losing a little bit of ground to the 8 of Langton. "33 laps to go, and Sean Langton has led 12 thus far. Sean Bounty has fallen all the way back to 6th position, but that cloud cover is coming back. The track heated up there for a minute, 113. We were at 105. Now the clouds go back over the track. You'll see it cool back down. Maybe you'll see this 34 come back. And that might have been what happened to Garrett Helmlinger, why he wasn't able to maintain that lead. We've still got some sun in 3 and 4, but it's amazing how much this track will change in just a couple laps when that cloud cover comes out. Cleveland's got the lead down to 1/10 of a second there briefly. He's losing a little bit of ground here in 1 and 2, but he gets a great run off the corner. And he pulls that draft back up to the back of the 8. You can see the 8 dives it down in there a lot deeper. Helmlinger holding on for dear life to the 3rd spot right now. Jacob Daniels taking away 4th. He's to the inside now. Ross Phillips, and now dive bombing to take away third. Can't hold it down there, though. Here's the 5 of Phillips. Phillips back to the inside. Side by side down the back straightaway for the 4 of Daniels. The 5 of Phillips. Daniels has the preferred line, but he shoots it a little too far into the corner, and now the 5 of Phillips is going to take it back. 4th position here. Oh, what a crossover. Daniels almost gets away with it. I think he had to lift there for just a brief second, and it broke the momentum, but now the 4 is pushing up big time into the entry of 1. Came in way too low and almost hits the 5. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Loses all the momentum, falls back a little bit. Check back in here with Thad Miller. He's still a lap down. He would be actually the 11th position of Randy Solly would be the lucky dog if we have a caution. Morgan Cook holding on to the top 10. He's 10 seconds back. Brian Watkins in the 17. He's back here behind Nicholas Pressey in the 8th position. Kyle Stewart back to 7th. And Sean Bounty just has not returned back to that speed that we saw when he was leading this race. He is 1.5 seconds away from your leaders. It just hasn't had the car that we saw in the beginning of that second stint with the green flag pit stops. We're approaching that point where some of these guys are going to bring it down pit road. Langton, Cleveland. They've pulled away 0.7 of a second now. Cleveland's holding strong here with the 8. I look to see these guys come down pit road very soon. Thus far, 17 laps led for the 8 of Langton. The orange speed number 8. Putting it in stride here in the second race of the chase. A little shuffle back here. The 5 of Phillips, the 4 of Daniels. They're going at it again. All the way to the bottom again, and almost 3 wide as they go into 3 and 4. Daniels dive bombs into the 5 car. He's going to slide job off the exit, but he can't complete it. And the 5 of Phillips is going to come down pit road now. Phillips was already committed to pit road, so he knew that he needed to brake a little bit. That might mess with his entry. Ross Phillips again. The only car on pit road this time through. We've got the 74 Brian Hennings, who has parked it for the night. He's down on pit road. Sean Langton coming back around. I would suspect to see the 8 car probably bring it down this time by. I don't know exactly for sure. He's going to stay out one more time. You're going to see the 5 of Phillips go out now. He put a lap down, but he'll have much fresher tires in this group. I'll show you what 22 laps does to your tires. 26 laps, actually. Is Langton going to bring it down this time by? It looks like he is. Oh, that's going to be a close one there for the 8. Really close one. Todd Cleveland following right behind him. Garrett Helmlinger is going to take over the lead. He's got Jacob Daniels right on his bumper. These guys are pushing it, though, on fuel. 26 and 24 laps. Nicholas Pressey, the most on the field run right now, in third. Look to see Daniels and Helmlinger come down this time by. Daniels going to stay out one more. He's going to try to lead. He's got 2 laps led here. He's going to make it number 3. Helmlinger down pit road now. Pressey's still out on the track. Watkins still out on the track. The 8 of Langton. He's still got company by Todd Cleveland. Excellent pit stop for Todd. "22 laps to go as they cross the line here. Jacob Daniels back out on the track. Did he pull a fuel? Nope, he did not. He's still out there. I thought maybe he came down pit road. He's stretching this thing out in the hopes that a caution will come out. The longer he stays out here, the further back he's going to fall. I looked to see the 4-car down pit road. He was battling there with Ross Phillips, but Ross Phillips is going to have about a 4-lap difference on tires. Can Daniels make up that time? Is that going to be enough? He's losing probably 3 or 4 tenths a lap here the longer he stays out, and I'm kind of scratching my head to see the 4-car come down pit road now. 27 laps on this stint. Brian Watkins still out on the track. 27 laps on his tires as well. Todd Cleveland gets around the 8 of Langton. He will be the leader if Jacob Daniels and Brian Watkins come down pit road this time by. Can Cleveland get it done? 18 lead changes here tonight. Ross Phillips hot on the bumper of Sean Langton. They haven't broken away from Ross Phillips tonight. That pole sitter has been fast all race long. Back here to the what would resume to be the 4th position once all these pit stops cycle through. Garrett Helmlinger, who was leading the race, just behind Bounty, in 7th. Winless this year for Todd Cleveland. Check back in with Daniels. He's stretched it out 28 laps. Watkins has brought it down. Here comes the 4-car down pit road now. And that's going to open up the door here for the 44. An opportunity here. 0 laps led for the 44, but Langton knows the opportunity's there for a lap led. Is he going to dive? Is he going to get around this 44? Can he do it? Cleveland was hanging with him pretty well on that last stint of tires. "44 to the lead now. Daniels loses a ton of time, but he'll have about 5 lap better tires in this pack right here. But it's just going to be such a massive deficit to make up in such a short amount of time. He's going to have to drive it perfectly. Todd Cleveland going to lead a lap this time by. He comes off of turn 4. Flagman in the air for this time by. There's a lap led to the 44 of Cleveland. But it's not over yet. Still plenty of time for Sean Langton and Ross Phillips to get around him. $18 laps to go. Todd Cleveland has been quiet all season long. He's been winless. This could be the night for the 44 team to turn their luck around. Build some momentum going into next season. Ross Phillips, who started on the pole. He has Sean Langton in between. Two chase drivers here that have been battling hard this season for that points lead. Most laps led here to the 5 so far, but Langton's been pretty close on it. He's 2 laps shy of it. Little bobble there by the 44. No, not enough, though, for Langton to get into the door. 0.13 seconds separate the 8 and the 44 as they go into 1 and 2. Big dive there for the 44. He's going to get a little bit of ground made up, but off the exit, Langton's going to draft right back up to that bumper. I mean, that's what we've seen all race long. It is very impossible to get away. Drafts it back up. Another deep dive there for the 44. Another draft run here for the 5 or the 8. Such a momentum-based racetrack. A little lift there by the 8. He's going to size up the tires and not scrub off the speed. These guys starting to pull away from Ross Phillips a little bit. Phillips might be saving those tires. Go back and check on Garrett Helmlinger. He's shaved down a couple tenths here in the 4th position. When this all cycled out, we talked about the 4-car of Jacob Daniels. He's got the freshest tires on the racetrack right now. Next to Justin Ritchie. He's back in the 13th position, but Daniels running 7th right now, trying to recover back. You can see the deficit falling down a little bit, but he has no drafting partner. And Sean Bounty, who is about 5 seconds ahead of Daniels, that's a product of staying out a little bit too long on those older tires. But Daniels has got a lot of ground to make up here if he wants to catch up to Bounty, to Pressey, to even crack that top 5 and get back to where he was a moment ago. Cleveland still holding on to this lead. He's strung it out now to 0.2 of a second. 13 to go. Across the line here for the 44. He's looking good here in the later half of this race. You can see the opportunity right in front of you. And for Todd Cleveland, it's going to be breaking the ice. A nice dive into 3 and 4. The 8 of Langton has not shown he has anything for him yet. That lead stretches out a little bit more each lap. There's Helmlinger going by, Pressey going by, Bounty. Then all the way back there at the beginning of the back stretch is Daniels. Morgan Cook behind him. We might have a battle here very soon between the 51 and the 4. Regardless of the outcome here for the 44 tonight, it was a valiant effort either way. An excellent race here for Todd Cleveland. It's good to see him back up in the front. It's been a while since he's led some laps before he's had a car that's competitive and able to hold the lead. Don't get me wrong, Todd Cleveland, an excellent driver. He's got company now. The 8 of Langton has turned up the heat. He's going to peek to the inside in 1 and 2. Dives it down deep. Side by side here. The 44 trying to hold on to it. A crossover here by Cleveland. He's right up on the bumper now. No move here for the 44. 10 laps to go. Now they cross the line for 9. And Sean Langton takes over the lead. Langton looking to get most laps led. Ross Phillips has fallen back 0.7 of a second from this group. Has he been saving those tires? Is he going to run back up there and catch him? Here to the 5th position, Nicholas Pressey. Next spot's going to belong to the 34 of Sean Bounty. Morgan Cook gets around Jacob Daniels for 7th. Daniels falling off a little bit. You thought the fresher tires had helped out the 4 to maintain that position, but it's lost a little bit of the speed. Kyle Stewart back in 9th. Brian Watkins rounding out your top 10. First car a lap down will be Randy Swale with tough race here tonight by the 00. Thad Miller, a guy that was up in the top 5. We saw him running as high as 4th position, almost in the top 2. Led some laps here tonight. Back here a lap down. He's trapped, praying for a caution. Across the line now. 94 laps into this race. It's been all but over. Ross Phillips just cannot catch these boys. He's hunting for it. He keeps trying different lines, but he's not making up any ground. Loses a 10th there, gets tight off the exit. And Langton, Cleveland start to pull away. Cleveland's starting to fade a little bit. He's fallen back 0.3 of a second over Langton. Langton's turned on the afterburners. We're coming up on 5 to go. Lest we get a caution, I do not foresee anybody challenging this 8 car. Looks like he really conserved that set of tires for this last 10 laps of this race. Takes over the lead. He's going to have most laps led now. 24 of them. Up on the board for the 8. Teammates battling for a championship. 5 to go now. Langton with the most laps led, a lap led, leading this race. Has an edge here as they go into race number 3 in the chase, breaking up that draft. Taking it all the way to the bottom down the backstretch. What a spread here that Langton's put on. 1.3 seconds back to Phillips. 0.3 back to Cleveland. A lot of cars that we had battle for this lead at multiple times here tonight. And Sean Langton has just put it up on top. VSRL Truck Series winner at several different locations this season. He's no stranger to victory lane. And as we get 3 to go across the line, tough break here for your pole sitter. Still a podium finish, but not the results the 5 was expecting to have here tonight. Impressive drive here by the 44 of Cleveland. He is slipping back a little bit to Ross Phillips, but I don't think there's enough time. Garrett Helmlinger, who raced his way into the chase, going to come home fourth. Excellent point stay for him. But Nicholas Pressey catching up a little bit here. Again, 0.5 of a second. I don't know if that's enough time. Michigan Speedway so spread out. It's very tough. 2 to go now as they cross the line. The 8 of Langton just has to go around this place. He has 8 more corners. Keeping it off the wall. Nice and smooth here through 1 and 2. Allowing that car to roll off center, come out way away from the wall. No reason to push it here. Into 3 and 4. Off the exit now. White flag in the air now for the 8 of Langton. His 0.5 of a second lead is not touchable. Todd Cleveland in a tight second place. He'll have it tied up here. The 5 of Phillips looks like he's going to come home in the 3rd position, but down the backstretch now for the 8 of Langton. 2 more corners to go to wrap this race up. Weeping down into 3 and 4. The 8 car all by himself. Down across the front stretch. It's going to be the 8 car. Your winner here tonight. Sean Langton getting it done. Excellent finish here for the 8. One heck of a drive. Saving those tires. Todd Cleveland leading some laps. But with 10 to go, Langton makes that pass and brings it home for victory lane. And another great finish at VSRL to help him out in the points going in to Bristol. Let's burn it down on the front straightaway now with the 8 car. Interviews with your top 3. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
We're back live. Southeast Tutoring 200 has concluded. Your race winner here tonight, Sean Langton, getting it done. We're going to look for Sean Langton here and pull him up momentarily, but we're going to interview your 3rd place finisher. Very quickly, we're down on pit road with Ross Phillips. And Ross, you started on the pole here tonight. Not exactly the results that you were probably aiming for, but it just looked like those guys turned on the jets there towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we had a pretty good run, or pretty good race all race long. We kept a pretty good pace on everything that was going on. I think I just chewed the right front up a little bit too much too early. Um, the tires came alive last 5 laps to go. That's what Todd and I were just talking about, and talking to Sean the whole time during the race about it. So give me another 3 to 4 laps there, and I passed both of them. But we're happy we got another one in the playoffs, I guess.
Well, we've seen the strategy that you pulled. You kind of forced the hand there on that, had that caution not come out. I think that it might have been a race winning strategy to short pit those guys and get out front. But that yellow comes out, resets the field. I don't know if you agree with me on that or not, but I feel like that was kind of a race winning move.
Yeah, I thought I was going to do it, and I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, all in all, my honest opinion, the guy that won the race is the one that should have won the race. As soon as I pitted, I mean, he was already calling he was going to pit the next time by, so he was going to come out right there with me anyway. So they got it. I just needed a couple more laps, and I didn't save enough tire in the beginning. So.
Well, awesome paint scheme, by the way. Much better than the one that we saw there at Dover. I know you were not completely satisfied with that one. Beautiful car, beautiful truck out there.
Thank you.
Ross, we're going to this playoff. We got Bristol coming up. We know that you're fast at some of these short tracks. Are you got the same thing in store for us here at Bristol?
Bristol, I'm pretty fast at, but I'm not going to lie to you. There's several guys in here that are pretty fast at Bristol. So Sean is one of them. We're going to try to put on a pretty good show. Paint scheme wise, I do appreciate it. Wait till you see the new one next week. We'll have a 46 on the side of the car, but I'm still going to be the number 5, but one-time throwback scheme, it'll have a 46 on the side of it. So.
Okay, fair enough. We'll try to make a mental note. I'm sure I'll be confused there for the first second or two I see it, but yeah, Ross, congratulations on third and great race here tonight. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out or thank for the performance?
Yeah, thanks to the whole Orange Speed team, man. We've got a pretty damn good group of guys here. You obviously for putting on the broadcast, and Garrett for putting this whole thing together. So congrats to Sean on the win, and damn good run for Todd. He kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, we got to talk about that because Todd really came to life here tonight, and great finish for him. It's good to see him back up there in that top 3. But Ross, man, it's coming down to crunch time, so good luck at Bristol, and we hope to have you back up in the broadcast booth next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. I mean, we're already locked in, right? So we're going to be in the final 4 or 5, whatever it is, for the final week. So I'm looking forward to that final race. So.
All right,
buddy.
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Third place finisher, Ross Phillips. We're moving on to second place, and I haven't talked to this guy in quite some time. But we're down here on pit road with Todd Cleveland. Todd, it just came to life out of nowhere. You start back at 13th. You battled hard just to maintain the top 10, and then that last 20, 30 laps, you're leading the race.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
A lot of guys were confused as well. They said he came out of nowhere.
That first stint, I knew we had to go 2 stints on a single set, so I really saved on tires just to try and stay on the lead lap because I knew Ross and Sean and all them were going to be fast, and ended up doing a lot better than what I thought I was going to tire-wise.
I mean, it looked good out there. You bring it home in second position. I said regardless of the outcome of this race, excellent job here tonight. Just one shy of the win. It would have been nice to break the ice, wouldn't it not?
I know. I was telling those guys this is my favorite track, and I was like really expecting a good finish here. And then that last stint, I was able to get around Sean there out of pit road, and I was like, I might have a shot at this. And then I could only outrun him for about 20 laps, and I really needed to save some tire in the beginning. But hey, what do you do now? It's over with. So
yeah, hindsight's always 20/20, isn't it?
Yep.
But Todd, man, you put it up there on the podium. We get to talk to you in this post-race interview, and I know you got him. So anybody you'd like to shout out?
I just want to shout out you and everybody at VSPEED and Garrett Helmlinger and everybody that puts this on. You guys do a heck of a job, and it's a ton of fun. So,
well, good to see the 44 back up here on the podium. Going to Bristol next week. Good luck, and I know that this points battle has been crazy. The chase is crazy, but you're turning it up, building the momentum, and we look forward to maybe having you in the broadcast booth next week. All right?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
All right, second place finisher here tonight, Todd Cleveland. Congratulations. And finally, we've got your race winner, Sean Langton. He turns on the jets in the last 10 laps and never looks back. Sean, it was like it was meant to be. These guys went up there and led some laps. We had 18 lead changes here tonight, but you get the most laps led from 7th position. That's not an easy feat here at Michigan.
Yeah, that was a nail biter at the end there. Want to thank Todd. He raced me really clean. He cut me a break there. I made a move on the inside, and we have good history. We've raced shredded clean in the past, and I think that paid off for me.
Yeah, Todd's always been a clean driver, but let's talk about the fact that we had all these different strategies with that caution completely thrown out the window. You come down pit road right after Ross Phillips, your teammate. Do you think that was a difference with that caution? Do you think it would have been him and you competing for the win, or what was the outcome that you were predicting?
Yeah, I was a little worried about that, hoping it was going to go green. I mean, once I did that, I just kind of saved a little bit and then just went for it. My car would actually do good after I saved it. So I saved for about 10 laps, and then I could push it, and it ran the best push in it, and I wouldn't wear the tires out, so it worked out for me.
It worked out excellent because you got the win here tonight, second race in the chase, and we're going to Bristol next week. A lot of guys talking you up about how fast you are. Said that there's a few different guys that are going to be fast, and you're one of them. What's in store for us at the last Coliseum?
Bristol's going to be interesting. These trucks are really fun there. It's never been one of my super strong tracks. I have a problem with saving tires. I'm kind of like a light switch. I'm either on or off. So we'll work on it, though. We'll get some practice in and go have fun. I mean, that's definitely the track to things are going to get mixed up for sure.
Sean, I sent you a script of all the people you need to thank. I don't want you to read any of it. Shout out anybody you have that you appreciate here at VSRL for this win tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank my teammates, Orange Speed guys, SE Tutoring, Southeast Tutoring. Like I said, Todd, I really owe Todd one there. I enjoy racing with him each week. He's a very respectable guy. We've had some great clean battles. I don't even think we've ever touched each other on the track. And he definitely cut me a break on the little slide job I did. It could have ended up with 2 liters in the wall, but he wanted to finish the race and see if he get back by me, and that's very commendable for him to do that.
Well, you read it exactly from the script, but that's okay. Sean, congratulations on the win tonight. Great job, and we look forward to maybe having you back up here in the broadcast booth next week at Bristol.
All right, thanks. I want to say hi to my parents. They're watching too. Bye.
Right on. All right, so the parents of Langton, shout out to you. You created a monster. He's winning races. He's been tough to beat all season long. Sean Langton, your winner here tonight in the Southeast Tutoring 200. Let's take you through your final results. Brought to you by VRX. There it is. Sean Langton, your winner here tonight. Todd Cleveland in a close second position with 0.4 of a second separating them. Ross Phillips coming home in third. Garrett Helmlinger in 4th position. Nicholas Pressey 5th. Sean Bounty 6th spot. Morgan Cook 7th. Kyle Stewart 8th. Jacob Daniels going to bring it home in 9th. He falls back way off of that tire strategy. 10th spot will belong to Brian Watkins. 11th, that'll belong to Randy Saleh. Thad Miller back in 12th. Brian Hennings in 14th. He parked it for the night after lap 59. Joseph Selig in the 12 behind the wall. Then you have Adam Tips and David Ackenbauer, who did not grid here tonight. We appreciate your time here on VSPEED. If you enjoyed this broadcast, make sure you hit subscribe. We look at our analytics, and it's been told that 48% of you are not subscribed to the channel. It helps us out tremendously. If you just click that button, you don't even have to turn on the notifications, but we prefer you do so you never miss a single race. VSRL Truck Series concluding here tonight at Michigan. Tomorrow at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be in the BTDY Racing Series for their premiere and their chase. They're coming down to crunch time as well. Only a few races left there, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see that. And then Saturday nights, we have the Saturday Night Racing League. Debuted with the closest finish ever on VSPEED. 3 1,000ths of a second at Daytona, going to Eric Hutton. So that was an excellent broadcast as well. Fridays will be picking up in July 7th, with another league, the RX World Cup Series. And outside of that, for Adam Baker and everyone here at VSPEED and VSRL, I'm Bradley Cooper signing off. Have a good night. Take care.
Oh, big wiggle.
Here comes Milo using the bottom south car closing in behind.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out the 37.
Oh! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A punt for the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.